Welcome back to Daytime Live. So this topic came up in the Gleaner, and we kind of want to touch on it and discuss it a bit. So on Sunday morning, 3 people died in a crash on the Portmore toll road during curfew hours, and they were actually on their way home from a party. So the question is, do you believe the authorities have become more relaxed in enforcing the curfew?
No.
No?
Nah. And I think people are, I think even if we get back to normal, I think how we are now, we have now been accustomed or acclimatized to the curfew times and operations. I really think that that is going to be that way for a minute.
Okay.
We're not going to have late events anymore that people go in at 12 and finishing at 3. And I think it's nice that people literally can go out and then get home by a nice time, go sleep.
Yeah, but don't events happen after 10 p.m.?
I don't know. I don't put that in events. I don't know how you ask me that.
No, Mr. Say, so since
you have to refer that one to
I'm sure you have a lot of friends who are, on a touch road at different times.
Yes, I have a friend called Sanik Vasiana.
Do you know of events that are taking place and they're happening still after 10 p.m.?
Yes, it's called Miyad.
So if it is that you are at home
right.
After 10 p.m.,
right.
how you know what law enforcement doing on the road if you're there home?
That's what I say, as far as I know.
So that means you don't know because you're at home.
Right, so
only way you would know is if you're on the road.
When I'm outside and I say, hey, all my neighbors them say, hey, hey. So it means everybody there home.
The people at your home, they're home?
No, I feed them home, but them close to my home.
All right, but I just think that to know what the police up to, you'd have to be on the road somehow to experience either the lack of or there is some kind of law enforcement. I'm just saying.
You don't say, what I'm telling you need to know. You need to represent L.A. Lewis in a film situation.
All right, so there's some
I don't know you actually mix me up on
this. I mix you up. I just say, I can't tell you.
What do you believe? Do you believe the law enforcement has laxed in the enforcement of the curfew?
Well, I can honestly say those times that I've been on the road, I haven't seen any. That's what I can say.
So are you a miscreant?
No, I'm just saying, I can say I have driven and seen certain things happening, and I don't see no police close by, party going on, people gathered, and I don't see.
They don't see.
I don't see the police. I don't see law enforcement. Parties happening. People are gathered together, and I don't see the law enforcement. But thankfully, because of the job I do and the fact that I have a particular ID, I can be on the road after curfew hours, but I don't see them. That's all I am saying. That's my experience. I've never seen them.
So your parties happening after curfew?
So let's look at some comments.
So how you know the parties are happening if you're not there?
So one comment is, I'm ignoring the stuff now. I think the question is, if the authorities were more stringent in enforcing the curfew, could it have made a difference anyway? Because every passing day is a new episode of the Wild Wild West. And this is from Chadwin Headlam.
Yeah. Headlam. Yeah. Someone also says enforcement for certain communities and people. This is from Brown Griselda.
Griselda 53.
Brown Griselda 53.
Yeah.
She sounds like something out of a
And then another one is Jamaicans are too unruly. If they want to live in a police state, move to Cuba. And that's at Miss Justice 6.
Oftentimes when I hear persons talk about Jamaicans are too unruly, if you look at that person, they are being unruly in some form.
Yeah.
Jamaicans are unruly. We are unruly slaves. That's why we end up here.
Maroon law again.
It's in me.
All right, what's the other one?
They most certainly have, when compared to other countries who have been serious about controlling the spread of the virus. Tighter restrictions are again needed. This is Stacey Campbell. All
right, then Tave Neal says, let the authorities go home and rest and have family time. Those among us who cannot govern ourselves will feel.
For TV Neal, the authority can do so much and no more. What about our part? We, the people, have a part to play. The authorities can do for us what we need to do for ourselves. That's Bethune Ferguson.
And then it continues. To how I see it, the law might be a bit relaxed. Maybe them tired. But we have to hold people accountable for their actions as well, and that's the Lisa Thomas.
This is, somebody said they have no choice than to become relaxed. They know they are dealing with Jamaicans. Don't forget, for some, Jamaicans and rules is like oil and water. Man have a party and a solid thing said. This is from Brandon Hill.
Then Odette McFarlane says, I don't think a quick fix can do this. I think Jamaicans, and I don't mean just the locals from the head down, need to take a different approach to everything in Jamaica. The whole island needs to wheel and come afresh. Different perspectives.
It's very interesting because I think something that we haven't taken into account even now is that with the curfew restrictions, yes, it's needed to help with the fight against COVID-19. But what about its economic impact? A large part of Jamaicans, they have worked for years within curfew hours, if you understand what I mean. The entertainment sector survives on curfew hours, media. So if it is that curfew hours should be just be enforced, what provisions are you making for persons who make their living from party? I don't necessarily mean putting it on, but those who perform at, those who sell the soap, those who sell, because you can't sell soup in a sun hat.
You can't sell soup if there isn't an event.
Right.
Okay. So, and I understand that, and that's fair, and I'm not playing
that's just bad driving, why them cut?
I'm not playing devil's advocate, but the thing is, sometimes some of these decisions, because we're not in the room when these decisions are being made, but to be fair, sometimes you can't have your cake and eat it too. So sometimes
if it's my cake, why I can't eat it?
Well, you can eat it, but you can't also have it unless you go and bake 2 cakes, so you have one and keep one. So you can't bake 1 cake.
Oh, you mean you can't eat of the cake and still have a cake?
And still have a cake, right. So when I say you can't have your cake and eat it, it means you can't have a cake, keep it, also eat it, and still keep it. So it's a case where it's always going to be something for something. Sometimes it's hard to balance the elements, especially if what people are saying is true, where Jamaicans are unruly, regardless of the rules that they put in, somebody's going to break them. And so what are you supposed to do?
Just like we are here, we will be right back, so don't move.